want to lose.
Team at best, and probably the worst shooting Michigan team has had in a while. It's from Mick. Well, that seems accurate. I mean, I think that is actually a fact, that it is the worst shooting Michigan team in a while. 248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136. We'll get into Michigan State coming up today at 10:50 as they are on the floor tonight. Tigers with the win on opening day. A lot to actually like about what we saw on day one. So we're taking your calls and texts on that as well.
Just one quick line. Was Michigan a bad shooting team all year, or were they just bad shooting against Michigan State and Texas Tech?
Well, they weren't, bad shooting or the worst team three-point field goal percentage they've had. I don't know if I'd call them bad shooting, but over the course of the season, this Michigan team didn't shoot it as well as the last several from the perimeter.
But I'm saying, was it just because of the games against Michigan State and Texas Tech, or was this a season-long funk where they were
I don't know if I call it
from three-point range?
I don't know if I call it a funk. I just say they weren't
the worst shooting team under Beeline.
I don't know if it's the worst shooting team under Beeline. It's the worst one in several years. From the perimeter. Like, from the perimeter, they weren't particularly special. And if you think about it, they've had guys like Duncan Robinson and Nick Stauskas that would just be the kind of guys that could go 6 of 8 from 3, and that never surprised you.
Right, but they did have 2 guys over 40%.
I know. I found it weird, but technically it is the worst shooting Beeline perimeter team in a while. 248-539-9797. The other thing about the Tiger game yesterday, people started freaking out when Jack Morris was talking about the perfect game.
Yeah.
It got a lot of social media interaction. Jack Morris, who's in the booth this year for the Tigers on the TV broadcast with Matt Shepard, was not shy at all about mentioning it was a perfect game.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with it, but, Jack's a former pitcher.
He's a Hall of Fame pitcher.
So
he has some semblance of a clue as to what matters and what doesn't.
And he's thrown a no-hitter in his life.
But he was saying things like, well, this is special. I've never taken a perfect game this late. Like, he wasn't
he didn't
shy
care.
at all.
He did not care.
And I look.
I think that's one of those things that divides people.
There's a tradition of baseball broadcasts. There's a tradition in baseball of not wanting to break, to jinx things, and this is part of it. But I've always subscribed to the theory that your job and I'm taking some heat for this from people in the business. But my approach whenever I did game, my approach was, I don't want anyone to miss what's going on here. And I know there's a lot of baseball fans who say you'd have to be an idiot to miss it. Not everybody's a hardcore fan. They're casual fans that flip games on and just have them on in the background. And so I have no problem with broadcasters saying, this is a perfect game.
I understand that to get viewers to stay tuned in, but I think there are ways that you can do it as a broadcaster without blatantly saying no hitter or perfect game that can have the same effect.
So do you have a problem with it?
Look, it's dumb that I would, but of course I do.
Okay.
Because I believe in jinxes.
It's not dumb because it's sports.
Yeah,
you do stupid stuff in sports all the time. As far as a job, though, Doug, what you're saying is a job. Do you think it's not enough to have the actual graphic on the screen that says perfect game?
Do I think it's not enough?
In progress, yes.
For some people, yes. I think it's not enough.
Like, it's literally right next to the score, Detroit 0,
right.
Toronto 0,
I
perfect
guess
game.
What I have to be reminded all the time that not everybody is as dialed in and living and dying with sports like a lot of us are. Like, they're not totally dialed in at all times and paying attention. And on a Tiger team that I think is I'm going to use this term, struggle to get ratings this year in terms of TV and radio, yeah, I think you're doing everything you can to draw attention to what's going on. And I'm going to say this with a certain degree of, I'm comfortable in saying this. What Jack Morris says in the booth has nothing to do with what happens on the field.
What? Of course not. But you ever see those commercials? It's not crazy, it's sports.
Yep.
This is one of those things, okay? Of course not. But if you believe in sitting in a position on your recliner is helping a player do something on TV, then you don't change position because it's not crazy. It's sports.
That's right. If all of a sudden the team is playing well while someone's in the bathroom, stay in the bathroom.
Exactly.
If
they've won every game you've not attended this year, stop attending games.
Do we need to ask who came out of the bathroom and should have stayed in the bathroom? I mean, no.
But here's the thing, Doug. Does a broadcaster have to explain what a perfect game is if we want to go that far? Because if you're not dialed into sports and you don't even know.
I have no problem if they do.
And Shep, a perfect game is when there is no hits.
Oh, God, you'd be
no
killing
walks,
so many people.
Nobody on base.
I know people would freak out, but look, you're not. There are a lot of people that aren't really paying attention, that just have the game on.
Uh-huh.
Well, the game's on then. That's all they do. That's all that matters, right?
Yeah, well, you want them to make sure they don't leave.
Very special game going on right now. If you look up at that scoreboard, you'll see a lot of zeros. Special game.
Perfect weather conditions.
It is perfect here in the Rogers Center. It's just perfect. Perfect. Nothing to mar the wonderful conditions we have here.
248-539-9797. Ticket text 97136.